We pay him. He's the most well-paid person in the whole company. Like his salary is like $100 an hour. but but he's one of like top 3 guys in Ukraine that knows this shit, and we have no other choice than to pay
Right.
him because there is nobody else,
Right.
because he knows all of those languages like Lua, C++, all of those stuff to do that. So Daily Co is very much used for startups that plug and play, like Twilio, right?
Yep. Yep.
Like Agora.
Hmm.
The same with Clubhouse. Clubhouse got boomed so
Yep.
fast.
I've heard of Clubhouse. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so Clubhouse was it was built. It was built on Agora, um, right? But the
Yep.
problem with Agora, I don't know if you know, it's Chinese product. They had the limitation of 17 people in one room, and you cannot go over it. Twilio had 25, so you
Hmm.
can't go over it. So you go to like media soup based products that are able to provide maybe 50 people or 100 people. So we did for India similar to Clubhouse, and they wanted 100 people in one room, and there was no way for them to do it through the Agora
Yeah.
because it's just limit of 17, so there is no way to do it. But that's the idea. So in short term, yes, Jitsi is good. In long run, like if you want to build on top of it, it's a headache. So
Okay.
that's my point. If you want to
Um,
make something super simple, right? I mean, Jitsi is very good way because, well, it's a simple thing, just 1 or 2 functions, plug it and play.
right.
Well,
Right.
I'm honestly not against it, and I wouldn't say no to that, right? And that's my only experience that I've heard from other people.
So what we're thinking about, Slava, because to penetrate the healthcare market itself, most are now, since COVID, are going after the simple jump into my room link-based system. HIPAA videos or registration system, right? So you got to register your patient. Patient's got to sign in. So we were thinking about adding just a simple per provider, let them assign their own URL. It could be a vanity URL, it could be a simple URL. We were hoping to do vanity so they can put their name, or kind of like what Doxy does, and let them launch their calls from there, and then just see whoever's sitting live in their room to call them in and call them out. Simple stuff, just has to be video, maybe some screen share. Doesn't need all the functionality that HIPAA video gives, uh, but just enough to where we can just inject it into HIPAA video, let them assign a URL, and to be able to manage their room. Mike was thinking about, because we had that lightweight API, right?
Mhm.
And that was something you guys built for us, and potentially adding on top of that and injecting it into HIPAA video. Or the other solution was we toss together a Jitsi type of server and then just connect that via API to the database so we can, I guess, assign names and URLs to people. So
Mhm.
that's what we're trying to decide is how is there a solution that's quick enough to get um, to provide something like that, to get that going, because we're going to start trying to get people to sign up for that use, because we were thinking about PVM, this application here, but we want to
Mhm.
stick with HIPAA video for that, right? It's HIPAA compliant
Yeah,
telehealth, telemedicine.
makes sense.
um, but the question is, what's the quickest way to get into it, um, versus
Yeah.
whether it's a lightweight API or a media server kind of solution.
Well, I mean, from this perspective, what you have described, Jitsi does sound a very good idea because it's from all the options, this is the quickest and the cheapest one, so you can get it pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, but definitely it's not something that we would be able to help. I mean,
Yeah.
team wouldn't go for the Jitsi. Mediation is something that I'm not sure if it's worth going for it just for the reason of the cost and the complexity
I
of
think if we were
working with
starting
that.
from scratch or something, yeah, media soup, but from where it's at right now.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like that.
Yeah.
From the lightweight API, I mean, sounds like a reasonable thing. Again, you still have to be add a couple of here and there. I mean, there is a good basis there. It's working. It has been tested. It's not like it's kind of ready to go. A couple of twists, right?
Yeah,
But again, whether you're gonna assign somebody from your team or other our team, it's kind of doesn't make any difference. Just for the reason that we have to be onboarded on that as much as your guys would have been onboarded on that, because of the lack of the people that we have, right?
yeah,
And I'm just honest with you on this one. So,
yep.
and just another way of going it, if sorry, um, why you don't totally consider like companies like Agora or Twilio because of the cost of the per minute that they charge, or what's the reason?
Oh, I just honestly, I'm not sure if we really even looked into those ones just yet. Um, because we thought of we already have an existing Jitsi environment from one of our other apps. We can spin one up really quickly, and then we just have to make some back end connections on the database side. But um, something like Agora or Twilio or um, some other service, I guess it could work out. But that's also per usage, right? So per minute, and they charge metered. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they have their pricing on the end there. I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, it's not that expensive. We don't if you don't speak about like hundreds of thousand people speaking hours on on it, right? But
Mhm.
it's a question of pricing on on the product. But the Twilio, both Twilio and Agora, they both have even products, HIPAA compliant products that are already like existing with all the compliances required. Like Twilio is a super huge company, right?
Yeah.
WhatsApp was built on Twilio. Like it's a solid company. It's something that it doesn't go down. It's something that you don't have to think about WebRTC, about sockets, about Signal AR, about pinging, about all of that. It's Twilio. It's a freaking multi-billion company, right?
Yeah, yeah, but if we went with something like Twilio, let's take for instance, let's just say we went with
Yeah,
Twilio and we said, "Hey Slava, we want to put Twilio in, right?
yeah.
And we want it to be able to act as a link-based kind of room. How long would that take? How many people do we need? Like, and then versus like whether our team knows how to do that, and if they can, how long would it take in comparison to the two sides? Um, and then
Twilio would be easier to integrate than Jitsi. Why?
Twilio would be okay.
Because you don't need the knowledge of WebRTC. You don't need all of that knowledge. You have the
See,
SDK. It's a ready SDK. It has all the API documentation, has all of that stuff. Why is this product is so popular? Because you don't need all of that knowledge. You can just be a good JS developer, and you kind of plug and play with that, right?
right?
You can take a demo account, play around with it, and see how long it's gonna take for your engineer. Well, yes, Jitsi, and again, you can put your front end and you put all of that stuff, so nobody will
Yeah,
know it's Twilio. Same WhatsApp, nobody knew that it was Twilio behind it for so many years, right?
right.
It's like nobody cares. Same as Clubhouse that they used Agora. Nobody
Hmm.
cares about that.
Right.
And what? Clubhouse had millions and millions of people using it, and that didn't stop them from using Agora. That's not the problem. But they saved so much time, effort, and the things that you had this emergency for that particular reason. You don't have a person knowing specifically about the background of WebRTC, C++, sockets, all that stuff, which is really complicated.
Yeah.
They and that is why is it so popular. That's why they are multi-billion company because many of the projects they just plug and play.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything of shaming on using it because, well, there is nothing complicated that you want to do it. Your section is very straightforward. It's telemedicine. You go there, it's HIPAA compliant, it's has all the certifications, all the security measures. I think half of the telemedicine in the world using Twilio. I don't see any problem on that, honestly. It's like you don't have to stick to open source. And the pricing there, well, just add it to the subscription model, but you know it's gonna be stable. You know it's not you're not gonna have a downtime. You know it's not you're not gonna be ashamed in front of your customers.
Hmm.
Again, I'm just speaking to you freely. Why? in terms of like you whether you're gonna have somebody in place all the time with you knowing what he's doing, and of course, of emergency, he knows how to fix it,
Right.
or you just don't play around with that. Jitsi is exactly the the reason why you have to have a person that knows this in and out. If something happens, it's open source. There is no support. It's just a community. Like you have to be on your own. And I mean that's the story behind it.
Got it. So if we
So
were to, so
I'm not convincing you.
no, no, I'm really what we're looking at is, um, which direction do we want to go? So I was hoping to see if maybe you guys can let us know if a Twilio solution, if a, I mean, again, Media Soup, I guess, is kind of out of it right now. Do you know if Media Soup can do link based? Can it
Yeah,
do vanity
of
room
course.
type of solution?
Yeah, of
It
course. I
can.
mean, there's not the problem. But again, from what you described, I just don't see a reason. I mean,
Yeah.
a business reason to do that. I
Yeah.
mean, just you know,
So who
just
do we
have a
need to
look.
find who again do we need to find in order to integrate Twilio into our system just as a
You
developer?
don't need to find anybody. If you have like anybody who knows front end any language, that's it.
Okay. That's it, huh? Front end, as long as they do front end. Wow.
That's it. I mean, I think any of your engineers who does front end React or
Okay.
jQuery or whatever, he
Okay.
takes SDK, put his front end, connect it to the existing. Here you go, you have it, right?
Cool.
I mean, it's not that easy as that I told you, but I mean, I'm trying to say that you don't have to write backend. You don't have to think about the backend. You just
Because it's already there. It's already done.
you have the whole API documentation.
Yeah.
You have the support,
Yeah.
and that's it. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. So that's just my advice to broaden a little bit um,
Our,
your
our our
options.
choices, our options were, yeah. You've heard my options, and you gave us several more, Slava. So thank you.
Yes, so that's what I'm trying to say. So just I had too many requests saying that please do something with Jitsi. I had too many of those requests, and
Yeah.
I get them for a reason, right? It's not just
Yep.
it's
Yep.
I get those for the
Oh,
reason.
well, you mentioned you did kind of touch into the Jitsi, and they said there was a couple of problems. Can you give us a couple of you know
Uh,
scenarios?
that was, as I mentioned, the biggest problem was when you want to make it some complicated business logic, which
Oh,
is not out of the box.
right.
You have five very complicated components that you have to all of them to rewrite in 5 or 6 different languages.
Like you said, Lua, C++, and etc.
Yes.
Yep, got it.
So you can't imagine how much effort this to do, even if
Oh
it's
yeah.
some little feature that it just makes you such a headache. I mean, um, I have a very interesting article. We wrote this article, by the way, where we compare specifically all of those media servers.
Oh, I was gonna say send it
So
over. It's in. Cool. Good.
here you go. So so just have a look at those. Pretty cool
Slava
small article.
before his bearded days. Yeah. Yeah. Slava's still around, right? Or Slava, your boss, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's the founder. I mean, he shouldn't give. He should not go
Yeah.
out.
I was just checking if he
I
was
mean,
good. Good, good.
uh,
All right.
yes. So have a look. So I mean, we do those for a reason, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
this kind
Well,
of
yeah, because
articles.
it basically gives you it shows your in-depth knowledge of the fact that you're experienced in all these platforms and what your experience tells you. You know.
Yeah, yes, I sent just another one. But
Okay.
by the way, you know that Zoom also has an SDK that you can also white label.
Oh, fuck Zoom. We won't do
No,
Zoom.
I'm just
But
no. What
I get you. But no, we'll never do Zoom. No.
I know why, but I'm just saying that a lot start doing this kind of stuff. Why? For this reason. Nobody wants to build their own engine. It's so expensive.
Yep.
It's so time consuming. It's very and then maintenance of it. That is the problem. Maintenance.
Well, you
we,
know
we
better. Since COVID, everything's gone virtual. Everything's gone, remote work. So everybody got into the game. So, um, but
but you get my point. So
yep,
it's a question between maintenance cost, implementation costs, and how much of the features do you want to implement.
right. And,
So
and and the back end doesn't matter. The client doesn't fucking care which one you use as long as it works. As long as it works,
exactly.
that's all that matters.
That's why I'm telling you, have a look at this as well,
Okay.
calculate it if it makes sense from business perspective, and you don't need to search, you don't need to think about Softerm or any other company. You have engineers, whatever knows front end, he's good to go. I
Yep.
mean, I can't say this is super easy and any engineer can do it. No, but if you can work already with what you have, I'm sure you can easily connect any of those, even Daily or Twilio or Agora, or there's quite a few of those. So I'm just telling you, just open up for this. We that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm not selling ours
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
the reason that I don't see any sense. I mean, that's it.
All right. Well, I don't know, Vito. Do you have anything else for Slava? And then,
No, that's it. Thanks for the information, Slav. Very good information. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope this will help. I hope this kind of gonna boost a little bit. And how is the pro video meeting going? I mean, does it growing the customer base? I mean, it's getting a little bit more
we're,
We
stable.
just we're going to start marketing it right now this week. So
yep.
we'll find out pretty soon.
Yep.
Okay,
We'll,
that's good
yeah,
news.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
uh,
so the
um,
bottom line is, if we want to implement any one of these, and maybe even Twilio, is that something you could do for us if we wanted to go that route?
uh, as I mentioned, yes, of course. I mean, it's not like that we can't do it. Like if it's Jitsi, no. I mean, we wouldn't go, or
How about
Janus.
say we decided to go with Twilio, create the link-based system? Just off the top of your head, how long are we talking to get that implemented?
Uh, I don't think it's hard to say, but
I mean, we're talking a month,
months,
two, or month, 2 months.
months. I think maybe a month with testing or something like that. Again, it depends on
What we
the
want.
yes and the
Right.
current status as well, right? So still needs a little bit of digging, but it's not like 6 months. It's not like 3 months. It's
Okay.
it's a question of like months,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Okay.
months too, with testing and making
All right. So we'll
stabilized.
probably get back to you on that. It's something we may want to do. I may have you do it because it'll off. Will kind of offset some of that work to you guys. Because we have we also have another platform, Unity. So we got 6 in-house developers for that. So we're swamped. So if can be done quickly and it's reasonable, we may just give that to you if you're interested.
Sure. I mean, we definitely would love to consider. And most important that you do your calculation in terms of the, costing
Yeah.
for like views per minute.
What is the cost for Twilio? We went through it once
It was
before,
like point
but I don't
zero
remember.
zero 0.004 some cents a minute or something like that. It was like in the cents, but uh,
Yeah.
and that's
And
based
does the
off of
price go
all.
down? Does the price go down as you with more usage? In other words, does it adjust based on usage as you use it more? Like some.
I think it's adjustable, but I mean, you have to understand that there is like really, really different types of, depending on how many people. So they have, let's say,
Right.
up to 2 participants. This is similar to what you have, like using the
Right.
turn server, like just like 2 people. And I think it's like free of charge. Why? Because they don't run
It's
any server cost.
Yeah. Right.
it's point to point WebRTC. Right. We get that. Yeah. And
Yes,
so
and
let's say we want like 5 or 6, something like that, so people can do group therapy, things like that. What's the cost there approximately?
it's 0.004 per
Okay. So
participant per minute.
right. So that's a small. I mean, yeah, over time that could add up. But again, like you said, we can work that into the subscription, and by the time it affects us, it'll be hundreds of thousands of users. You know what I mean, Craig? So
Yep.
it sounds pretty
Yep.
cheap. So we'll
Yeah, I
take
mean
it.
it's like if I'm talking like yes, the pricing changes and they have like something like talk to sales because they have like a little bit of adjustments. But again, if we're speaking about 100 rooms and every room 15 minutes, right, with three participants, we're talking like what, $7?
Yeah, nothing.
you know
It's
it's
nothing.
like, yeah,
Four
I
ten
mean,
per minute. Yeah, I get it. So that's probably a good solution for us, at least right now. And later on, we could always readjust if we had to. So, all right, let us talk about that, and we'll probably get back to you, Slava.
sure,
Slava.
sure. No problem. Yeah, and let me know if you have any questions on, a certain concern, right? Definitely, I can provide this information because I get asked these questions all the time. Like we consult a
Yep.
lot of companies on this kind of stuff. So definitely,
Yep.
if you can go ahead. And again, Twilio is a US company, right? Agora is a
Yes.
Chinese one.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Rather stick to the U.S. company,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Again, Clubhouse, they chose Agora, right?
Yep.
It's a little
There
bit
you go.
user friendly in terms of integration. I don't know why, for whatever reason, but they just did a better job on this one. But Twilio is just larger company, and because Twilio is larger, to get their support more friendly, it's a little bit harder. But Agora is smaller, so it's easier to get better support. But
Yep.
again, it's a question of business decision, right? I'm not saying that one is better than the other. It's purely business decision, not even technical.
Yep. Oh, well, let us talk about it, and we'll definitely get back to you, Slava. Appreciate the information.
Cheers.
All right.
I will ask guys about this
Yeah, please.
small
Solution,
adjustment that
Mike.
might.
Yep.
Yes, I will hear what they will say. But
All right.
otherwise, I was very happy to hear from you, and I hope you're doing well. So
Same here. Same here. Thank God you're doing well. Stay safe, and let's hope this thing is over soon for you guys.
Yeah.
we hope so as well. Thank you, Vito.
Yep.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Slava. Good seeing you.
Take care.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.